in studio, we do have Honorable Gloria Orwoba. Senator, good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Tulisema ni Happy New Year until birthday ya mtu.
And until my birthday, May 25th.
May 25th?
Shambiwa na mapema.
Umeniacha na siku ishio? Yes,
mine so we are birthday mates.
Actually, mimi nimekuacha na well, mine 23rd yako ni 25th. So many Peter. Right?
Yes.
The point is tuko na difference ya siku mbili. But nice to see you again.
Yeah.
I've been curious, and perhaps you've been asked this question a million times, but I'll ask it anyway.
But Paul, before you ask,
yes,
why don't I ask the Mheshimiwa to interpret?
As a matter of fact, why don't you start with your question?
Yes, why don't I ask Mheshimiwa to interpret this particular proverb that comes from the Gambia?
Okay.
If you stir up water in the pond, you will bring up the pond.
If you stir up water from the pond.
In the pond.
In the pond.
You will bring up the pond.
Where? For the first time, I just want to be honest, I don't know. Hiyo nitahitaji usaidizi.
It's like you can just think of it literally. Ukikoroga unaona tu.
I was going to say like if you muddy the waters then
yes. So I'm going to tell you it's something you know.
Okay.
Now you wanted to take the high road of philosophy.
I was trying to think, you know the way you're like here yenyewe sijui.
Hii pond inaaminisha nini? Na hapana. Umechafua maji.
If you muddy the waters, you know what to expect.
Umechafua maji.
Yeah.
That's exactly that.
Okay.
You're very much right. On to my question. The last time you were here ulituambia venye utaenda kule Senate ufanye vitu, tutajua kulikuwa na kesi ukashinda, but sikuonangi Senate.
So you know they've disregarded the law. Yeah. So you know there's nothing you can do. Literally it is like this is how Gen Z were feeling during that finance bill. Like when there's nothing you can do, you start thinking, okay, what can we do? Maybe let's go and storm into parliament. I went already and stormed into parliament.
I remember you were kicked out. You were arrested. Juju.
Yes. So and I was denied access. I won the case. So there's nothing else to win. I won the case.
Yeah.
There's literally
there's nothing else now you can do.
You can't now apply a new case. I won the case. I was reinstated.
Okay.
So
do you receive a salary?
No. And in fact, there are arrears of mine that were because the clerk of the Senate stopped my salary illegally way before I was removed. So and there's some I never used to claim my benefits every other week or something. So I have even pending benefits.
Yeah.
But this is the government of I always say thugs, murderers, crooks.
This is the government that you are in.
This is the government I was in, and by the time I opened my eyes to realize that I don't fit in, I was the square peg in a round hole.
Yeah.
You have to be a thief, a murderer, a crook, some sort of stray creature for you to fit in. A rapist. You've seen that guy Chebochok with the UDA uniform in State House, and we have watched how many videos of him during the Kericho sex for work scandal that was exposed by BBC. He tried to vie. Still they welcomed him and they gave him, and they think that he can be a leader for the people of Kericho. So that's why I'm saying in this government, for you to fit in, you must pick which one you are. Are you a murderer? Are you a thief? Are you a rapist? Are you a crook? Are you a child abuser? And you pick one, and I didn't fit in any of it. So clearly.
So you haven't been paid for how long now?
It's been around in total you would say something like 11 or 12 months, a year.
A year.
Yeah.
Mimi unajua ukichelesha mshahara yangu wiki mbili. Hey, we're going to have a problem.
God provides.
Yeah. What? Sawa. So are you challenging it in
what do you challenge? You've won. I challenged it and I won the case.
So there's nothing else
nothing else to challenge.
That's a strange place to be.
Yes, that's where our country is. We're in a place where the people running the show have complete disregard to the constitution and to the law.
Yeah.
And we have seen a lot of court orders. And this is the one thing that we said when the Kenya Kwanza administration, when we were, looking for these votes, we kept on saying that, the Uhuru Kenyatta administration has defied a lot of court orders, and we are not going to be those people who don't respect the courts. No, forget it. That's out the window.
Yeah.
So there's nothing else to do. Maybe you guys can advise me. What do you think I can do?
There's plenty. What brought you to the attention of this particular government or the things that you were doing, it's not as though you were doing nothing and you were sitting somewhere commenting on X Space and social media. No, you were doing something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you had an idea.
Yeah.
You ask me what you should do. Go back to factory settings.
I have never left the things that I did before.
Go escalate them.
Yeah. So I've been, in fact, it was almost like, okay, so now we have a full-time, that had become my side hustle. Now it became a full-time hustle. And I think that's one of the things that maybe also sets the politicians aside. There's some politicians who will not have anything to do come 2027 because the only thing they have is these seats that they have. But there are many politicians who are career politicians, and they are also professionals in their space.
You were an active citizen before.
I'm an active citizen even now.
Then you became a senator.
Exactly.
Now, being a senator simply gave you a louder voice, gave you a megaphone.
Yes.
And people got to know you, your visibility increased.
Yes.
And those positions give you a little more authority than you had before. But now, a former senator as an active citizen is a very different kettle of fish.
You know, City, I'll say, it took me a while to settle in, but I'm liking it. And I'm now in the United Opposition. I've been there for a while.
With which party, if I may ask?
I am with the Gloria Orwoba party for now.
Which is why
that's a very smart answer.
No, because I also don't want to jump too quick. And very soon you will see that I will declare the party that I am going to be in. But I want to say this. I am happy. I don't know whether you can't see that I'm glowing.
No, you look happy and you look content. But let me say this, Senator. Don't forget what got you to the attention of this particular government.
Yes.
When you are in the position you are in, this is, now I'm being prescriptive. Allow me to be prescriptive.
Okay.
Don't jump to join a party. Just do whatever it is that you are doing. The people who you serve will give you directions.
Absolutely.
They will give you the nod and say, look, why don't you do this?
Yes.
CT giving a politician political advice.
Yes.
No. By the way, mganga jigangi.
Kweli.
So sometimes you actually have to step out of your space and get someone else to tell you, what do you think about this? True. And I totally agree with you. The one thing that I think I have, I kept on telling even my colleagues in Senate is that you should be your own person, so that no matter what happens, you can be able to weather the storm.
Yeah.
And what you'll see now that's happening to most of the people that I left in Senate is that they are struggling to, keep their heads above the water. Yeah, because most of them didn't really have purpose. They didn't really have a personal brand. They really never sold anything to the people of Kenya. And they were there by virtue of how they got there. And they didn't realize that now you need to do something with that position. And by the time everything is unfolding, I think you can see that is now the confusion that is happening. It's happening in all the political parties, at least all the older political parties, not the newly established ones that have, just come in like in the United Opposition. But it's interesting time, City. I would say about 10 months ago, I had so much anger on some of the people that I worked with who colluded to make sure that things went the way they were. And I had some, I don't know what you call it, it's like an epiphany, all right, I can't describe it, about 2 weeks ago. And it was like, Oprah says it's your aha moment. And that aha moment for me was a phone call that I got, and I was like, okay, it was 10 months. But now I'm happy to be in this position now, because I don't have to justify to the people of Kenya about who I am. Yeah. They have seen who I am. They have seen me persistently fight through a lot of BS, to be honest. Yeah. The other day I saw LSK coming out to do a press conference about sexual harassment in the workplaces. sometimes you watch this news and you're like, oh, mumefikiwa, hata nyinyi kwa hiyo industry mumefikiwa. Now it is paining you as lawyers. When I was up in arms telling you this thing is happening from the executive to parliament, you know, you guys thought I'm crazy. So, and you know, the worst thing about it is when you let when we are having a culture where something wrong, something completely horrible happens, and we let it go, and then it breeds across all other places, and by the time we realize for sure this is a whole situation, it's too late. It's too late. You're already having Chebochok in State House taking photos as an aspirant.
You know, one of the things that I think sometimes one fails to see, and this is not the hidden nature of our politics. When you get involved with having a certain position, you're a senator, you're a member of parliament, you're an MCA, that life can easily overtake everything else that you have done, and you can actually lose the direction that
brought you there. Yeah. And you know, CT, it's not just about the professional part of it.
No.
What happens when you get sworn in, there is so much that is bombarded on you, including your whole lifestyle. You find you even used to have a gym you were okay going with, but suddenly you stop going to that gym because now you must go to the parliament gym. And I used to look at my colleagues, I'm like, you do realize that when the bell rings and it comes to a stop, you won't even remember who you were before you came here. And that's why you see them hanging around together, because they have been forced even in the social setting. This is the only life you can have. And let me tell you something, around between August of every year and every election cycle year and January, there's a hospital there in Lavington that takes care of a lot of mental illness, including depression, suicide, all sorts of things. Most of your members of parliament are checked in there. It is so bad that between that period, now when I was there, we were being encouraged to contribute in advance for a future medical plan, because it is anticipated that you're going to lose your mind and you will need medical cover, because you literally, the carpet is taken from under your feet and you don't know who you are anymore. All your friends who you used to hang out with in parliament, in the lounge, in the places that can only be accessed by waheshimiwa, suddenly some of them remained, and you like now you saw that we were being told, is it 56% or something?
Yeah, Wetangula said about 56% of current members won't come back.
Make it. Actually, he's being very optimistic. In this parliament, I think a handful from Senate will make it, and literally maybe about a dozen from the National Assembly.
Hey, a dozen is a small number.
Oh, Kenyans have
12
up.
out of 290.
You have seen when people have started defecting. I don't want to mention names, but last week someone posted and suddenly they've become a very fierce critic of Ruto. And you have seen how Kenyans are they're not outrightly saying, oh yes, come join us, let's sing Kumbaya. They're like, no, we know what you want. You want a seat, and you're not genuine in your actions and in your beliefs, and you really don't stand for anything. It's just the bell has rung, it's transfer. I call it transfer window, transfer season. And so you'll see a lot of people coming out saying, Sasa, I've seen the light and all those things. But I want to appreciate some of the people who have really been, some of the members of parliament and senators who have really been, they've been crucified for standing their ground from the onset. And it's not only myself, for me, they had to remove me so that the other nominated senators get scared and they don't have a voice. You saw they all kept quiet. I mean, what's the name of the one who replaced me? Does anybody know? You understand? So, but for the members of parliament, some of them, they are very, they've really been punished. You might not know it. Some of them, even their CDF money is delayed. You're just punished in ways that you cannot go complaining to the public. So, but they've really stood their ground.
Yeah.
And it's payday. It's payday. It's payday season.
Let's talk about the defections. We are seeing some very bold moves from lots of people.
Okay.
Yeah. Why are they bold for?
Like who?
For example, Moha Jichopevu.
Oh, Moha has forever been the dissenting voice.
Yes.
It's just that you know what happened, in fact, during the impeachment. Moha, he was harassed. Because he refused to impeach Gachagua.
DPS.
Yeah. And you know, that's why I want to go back as an elected member, because then I have some level of control with my vote, if at all I have to vote. But he did refuse, and he was met with a lot of aggression. Inflated KRA bills. Oh, it was bad.
Oh.
It is just that he cannot come out to tell you.
Yes.
But he has really suffered in the hands of this same government. And then, you know, he had an accident during the, I think, Yala Games, when they were in Sudan or somewhere.
Okay.
So he had, he was bedridden, I think, for about 4 months.
Moha.
Yes.
Nyali MP.
Yeah, there's something wrong with his leg when he went for
I'm
sports.
not aware.
Yeah.
Okay.
So also that moment when he was down, yes, I'm not because
Okay.
he's the commissioner. Yes.
Okay.
So he's gone through. It's just that some of those things, but he has been very consistent in his stand, and not only from the impeachment, from way before the impeachment.
Yes.
In fact, at one point they wanted to remove him as a commissioner from Parliamentary Service Commission. Yeah, because he was not serving Ruto.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what has, like, now that we are mentioning him, what is his was his issue at the time?
No, if I recall very well, in the Kenya Kwanza group, we had people who were not afraid of Ruto. And we would tell him, like, we would really tell him.
To his face.
Yes. We would tell him. You know, this thing is paining here. This thing is, Kenyans are saying this. You know, diaspora jobs is a scam. All these things we would tell him. Moha was one of them. He has always had that voice.
Yes.
I'm just happy now that he has come out. And I think he should have come out early. The problem is, I think that accident with his leg. Because he was bedridden for like 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually not.
There's even a time he disappeared. He was completely, and then they were really harassing him and all
But
that.
has he actually defected?
He has.
Well, for example, he was with DCP in Zimmerman.
Yeah. But look,
You mean defecting in what sense?
has he left UDA?
He cannot denounce the party right now, because that would mean he loses his seat.
There was a time Senator Sifuna was in a church with Gachagua. Did he defect? No.
Okay.
Okay. Do you see where I'm going with what I'm saying? Being seen with someone, must it mean what we say or we think it means?
I think, City, what you're expecting for these folks to see is, I am no longer in UDA, and today henceforth, I am in DCP. Because the moment they say that, Kitty P naenda.
No. You can't be expelled. You can be expelled from the... you can't be expelled. Let me give you a statement.
Yes.
You are nominated.
Yes.
That's what makes the difference.
But no, because the rules actually are the same.
No.
The rules are the same.
No.
Can I tell you, Tom Ojenda, you remember the first four ODM MPs that went to State House? Way earlier, before even Raila himself went to State House.
Akina, what's this comedian called?
Yeah, Jalango,
Yes,
Tom Ojenda. They are surviving on court orders. They have court orders to stop their expulsion
from their parties.
Yes, they actually are servicing. Let me not say servicing, but they are surviving.
There's a point I'm getting at. When I say they cannot expel you, it's not that you can't be expelled from the political party. Your expulsion from a political party is a process. It's not somebody standing up and announcing and saying, "Maze wewe umeenda."
According to the constitution, it's a process.
Yes.
But this current regime doesn't follow the constitution.
No, they do not.
Yes. So
especially, look, we are seeing a problem in ODM right now. Okay? Their processes in ODM's own constitution, not anybody else's. And the following of what they have documented is what is being questioned.
That's why I'm saying, in theory, you can say they cannot be expelled. Vitu kwa ground is that Ruto will make one phone call and you will not access parliament.
Actually, I remember there was a...
And that one phone call, you know, when you have captured even the Parliamentary Service Commission, all independent institutions, you have captured to some extent IEBC. That's why we are looking at them, hoping that they become independent. ORPP. Azimio made changes to the party leadership. And to date, it has never been gazetted because you have captured the government gazette.
Yes.
So you can say all sorts of theory, but Ruto will pick up a phone call and literally tell your mother not to feed you.
You know what I find strange? is this, huh?
And your mother won't feed you.
And your mother will think twice about feeding you.
Maybe you can help me understand this. The things that are done, let's start with the attack of the church in Nyeri.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Several Sundays ago, okay? How does the government benefit from such an attack?
I want to say authoritatively, and because also I was there, and because also I have worked with these people, and particularly the ones that were involved. That is Mheshimiwa Betty Maina, as it is alleged, and the husband Wamumbe. I want to tell you that the president has lost control of his foot soldiers.
Yani, you want to tell me there is someone who can...
I am telling you
Let Mheshimiwa
when
continue.
when you breed a culture where you encourage your foot soldiers to get away with murder, it will be very difficult when they literally go the full mile and you think, okay, this is way out of control. How do you bring them back into control? This is a situation where you have allowed your foot soldiers, and by foot soldiers I'm talking about what you call your blue-eyed MPs and senators and PSs. Some PSs are walking around here, they've never had any job, but they are running the shows. You've allowed them to go rogue, to go against the constitution several times. It's called impunity. And you thought because it works for you, they were working, you clap for them, say, hey, umefanya vizuri. And he did that for about 2 years. And on the third year, he has no control of those people. So someone sits and realizes that, wait a minute, hawa watu wanasumbua mkubwa wangu, na wameenda kwangu, mimi nitawaonyesha. And because these people have full control, and when I say full control, it is alleged, and I can confirm that by having seen that someone like Betty Maina literally walks into a police station and becomes the OCS of the day.
Literally.
Yeah, and gives orders. When we had the by-election in Kisii, Osoro tried to do it in Kisii, and we were ready for it. We had prepared. So it was a battle of the people versus Osoro. So we dealt with Osoro.
Just get into a police station and back orders and they're followed.
And you know, they give such instructions that the people sitting there are they feel pressed. If I don't do this, orders from above, I'll lose my job. And we have seen allegations, and this is not me saying them because you can't sue me for saying allegations. Those who are listening, we have seen allegations that the police, the National Police Service is now controlled from Nandi by a cartel. I was reading it in a newspaper at some point. I have seen people saying...
When you say control, what did you read?
It means that we have completely disregarded the protocols that we have within that institution. For instance, sometimes something happens and the IG is not aware.
Kabisa.
And it's a thing that should include... When we were being attacked in the church, I want you to tell me where the IG and his deputy were. Were they in the country? Go and do some research. You'll find... I'm not claiming, but go and do some research because word has it.
To your knowledge, were they in the country?
Word has it that they walikuwa wametumwa some capacity building function. No, me, I'm not a police officer. I can't confirm.
That's why I said to your knowledge.
But
were they in the country?
In my very limited knowledge, they were not in the country.
Okay.
And a situation where you see a police vehicle, because that is a police vehicle that was there, complete with tear gas canisters, guns. We were being shot at. We were inside the church while we were being shot at. We had to barricade Gachagua. And this is where now when someone tells you, I will take a bullet for you, believe them. Because we were barricading Gachagua so that in case there's any stray bullet, you know...
It's impate.
Because
some stray bullets can be aimed.
Yeah.
I mean, they can be purposed to stray.
To be stray.
The intent on that day really was to injure or kill and kill one of us. And there was a whole discussion about my dress code, and that discussion really borders around when we found out that we have been targeted, specifically the members of parliament, the key people who are working with these principles. It is at that point that I decided, mimi ni mtu wa mtaa, I'm also a street person. Amuta nimaliza tu hivi without trying. At one point I had the uniform of the choir. You know, those who are doing TikTok videos, I'm sure there's a video out there somewhere. When we walked through the back door to jump over the fence so that we can escape a church where we are being shot at and being thrown tear gas, we were being informed that they have marked us even as we walk out. And in fact, at that point, I had when we were walking out, I removed the choir uniform. I remained with my dress. You can even see me jumping over the fence with my white dress. And a few hundreds, maybe not hundreds, a few meters down the road, because when they realized we had left the church, they actually started advancing to us. So it was not a situation of tumewatoa kwa kanisa wacha tuende sasa, this is okay. They were targeting us. And at that point, even it was the women, the local women, who were saying, if hii ndio hii kitu ishe, waache kutufuata, you know, wewe umemakiwa, is there a way you can disguise yourself, as we are literally running away from the place. Lucky for me, even now, if Noma ikitokea, I have campaigned in Kisii. Tulikuwa tunachomewa ndani ya gari. We know how to survive. So I had my tights and my top inside. I removed the dress.
Yeah.
As we were walking, someone gives me a kitambaa. Someone gives me, you know, these are things that happen.
To camouflage yourself.
To camouflage myself. So it was me, Cleophas, and the MPs that were there, Ngongoyo, Gachagua, and it was very clear they needed to damage someone. But word on the streets, because I told you I'm also from the streets, is that the president was not even aware. He was not aware. This was, and I know I was targeted by Betty Maina, because she keeps telling her boss, we'll deal with her. You know, when you can't control your fanatics. So at the end of the day, by the time he was being word on the streets, and this is completely, take this as a rumor, by the time he realized what was happening, he was very upset, because, you know, he had visited the sister church a week before, given them money. He's trying to appease these people, tell them I'm the same person who you voted for, and then your idiot fanatic
reverse that particular
they take away the gains. And if you think I'm lying, I want you to send me a picture of Betty Maina and Wamumbi in State House since that incident. They were banned from State House. It's a situation where your boss thinks, how dumb can you be to do such a thing?
Let me ask you, have you had the chance to ask these two people, Betty and the husband?
Where will I find them? I have no business with
on
these two
phone,
people.
WhatsApp, SMS,
No,
something?
I cannot. If you are planning to, for instance, one of the things that was clear was that for the women who are there, and on that particular Sunday I was the only woman, they had actually planned for us to be attacked and gang raped. Yeah. And you need to go and read the history of these two individuals so that you know that what I'm saying is not very far from the capabilities.
I'm tempted to ask what history.
I don't know. I just treat everything I tell you as a rumor. And it is probably non-factual, so that they can, you know. But I will say this. The president has lost control of his foot soldiers. Foot soldiers are out here running rampant, panicking, because time is up and they have nothing to show the people of Kenya what they have done. So, in essence, there is a need, an internal need to sort of, you know, you're trying to stop that diarrhea that's already out. And so you're very desperate.
You know, Senator, if that day, let's just say that someone had succeeded.
It is laughing because he has tried to stop diarrhea.
I'm diarrhea.
And he knows it's next to him. And it's out.
Paul, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I was giving you time to catch your breath. You know, if someone had succeeded, God forbid, to take the life of Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, in your opinion, tungekuwa tunaelekea direction gani kama country?
Oh, it would be bad. It would be bad, and it would be bad.
And don't you think the people that we are blaming for that, don't you think they also know it?
No, you people don't understand. I have sat in several forums and told you some of the people, and I don't want to put a percentage, but I would put it at 90. The people around the president are actually very stupid. They're just stupid people. Like, you sit with them and you're like, this is a very stupid person. But they made it. They got elected and the president likes them. And so now they're in power. That is why sometimes you hear comments from people and you're like, wait, you know, make it make sense. And so it's very unfortunate. By the way, it's very unfortunate. And if you are a person with some form of dignity and direction in life, it's very frustrating to be in there. That's why, City, I was asking you, can you see how I'm glowing?
Let me tell you something, Senator. Forget glowing. You are reflecting.
You know, when
I'm now sitting with people who make sense. You know, because sometimes I would say something that is so basic. I will tell you, for instance, when immediately after we impeached Gachagua, I say we because I was part of that process. You know, I take ownership of my mistakes and things. Immediately after we impeached Gachagua, in those WhatsApp group platforms, it is like we were obsessed. And when I say we, I'm talking about all these people who would come. Ona Kenya me post, Ona Kenya me fanya. And I'm like, guys, you have removed him from the office. What more do you want to do to these guys? I used to tell them, and you know, my Nini, that group, when my phone, something happened, I think they were trying to hack me and everything disappeared. But if you get an MP from Kenya Kwanza, tell them to show you. I used to tell them, we have impeached this guy. He's out of the office. Imagine hata hana allowances. Hata we hana. Why are we still discussing him in our platform? And I used to say, in my opinion, let us focus on working. Do you know how many times I would be bashed by that lady from Lamu?
Which one? There are very many ladies from Lamu.
The women rep who, I forget her name.
Okay.
The women rep from Lamu who went to the Matanga in Muranga to talk about two-term and, you know, all hell came loose. That one. You know how many times she bashed me in the group saying, oh, you know, you are here for because they have to show their boss that, you know, your boss, sisi tu ni watu wako. And in the end, those are the people advising the president. Those are the people. Imagine someone like Murkomen is sitting down with that lady from Lamu to seek advice.
That is Muthoni Marubu.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, and I would like you to go and find out her level of education. But my thing is, that is where we are in we're in problems. Because sometimes, you know, democracy, how it works.
Yeah.
The people will elect who they like.
Okay.
If who they like is the senator for Embu. Huh? You know the senator for Embu?
Yes.
Mudigi. The people have a right to elect Mudigi. They elected Mudigi. Mudigi cannot do any much legislation.
Okay.
So even us in Senate, we would sit with Mudigi. Mudigi has been elected. You have to give him his right.
Yeah. Unamheshimu kama mheshimiwa.
Lazima umheshimu.
Yeah.
Lakini inafika mahali mnataka kuongea maneno ya bills na nini, achana na Mudigi please.
Yeah.
Wewe fanya kazi.
Okay.
You know, so in the case of Kenya Kwanza, many people who have no sense of direction in terms of policy, governance, and leadership to an extent where we want to go, I hear people are on the way to Singapore, have been elected. Now, the president is going to Singapore. He has no choice but to work with these people. And that is the conflict.
Actually, he has no choice but to work with the entire country. But
no, the country has said, yes, we are not going to Singapore.
They're not going to Singapore.
He is the one who wants to go to Singapore with his team.
Okay.
But his team itself does not even understand what going to Singapore is.
But, Senator...
You do want to go to Singapore?
I just want to have food on the table. I really just want my family to be okay.
You don't want to go to Singapore?
Whether it's in Singapore or Dubai.
I want to go to Singapore.
You want to go to Singapore?
But via Norway.
Okay.
Yes.
And you people are so ambitious. You want to go to Singapore via Norway. Hata mtaki kupitia an African country. Enye at least imekuwa na, you know, venye unasema, nyewe Afrika hata tukifika mahali tuko ABD. Nyi mnataka tu muamke muende Singapore.
That's the general idea. Si tunajua mahali Singapore iko. Tunajua mahali Norway iko. Na hata kuna Wakenya huko. So
hamtaki kwenda Russia?
Russia pia huko.
Kuna wenye wako huko na wanatuambia siku nzuri.
Hamtaki kwenda Russia mkoshua.
Wenye wako huko wanatuambia siku nzuri.
Yes. Tuko kila mahali sisi wa Kenya. But Senator, the president has a choice. All presidents have a choice. And the point you make has been made in our political history. It started off with the death of J.M. Kariuki. There are many people who claim that the president did not okay that assassination. It was not him who did it. There are those who even claim the Tomboy assassination, the president had nothing to do with it. See, you are right in this sense. Power has a way of evolving and morphing into its own, should we say, unit. When you have presidential power delegated for purposes that suits the immediate need of a leader, it has a tendency of taking off and forming and creating winds and going on its own. Why? Because if the individuals have been empowered by the executive to do certain things, the empowerment becomes real and they actually become powerful. Forget being empowered. And the system recognizes this, so they
just
they
sit
fall
ground.
in line.
They
quietly fall in line,
yeah.
so that when somebody speaks, they understand that they're speaking at their behest. Now, there are those who take advantage of this. Now, the problem, this is the monster of impunity, and this is what happens when it has been unleashed. And you're right, reining it in becomes
difficult.
Becomes a problem.
Like now, look, and by the way, while I am highlighting Mwamumbi and what is the name of that one, Betty, while I'm highlighting what they did, it doesn't matter because the buck stops with the president. Until today, there has not been any arrests of the officers who are involved. Until today, aside from Mwamumbi and the wife being banned from State House, there has not been any repercussions taken against them.
And why is that?
Because the president doesn't imagine that there should be law and order in this country, and the disintegration of law and order does not start like at next week Thursday we will start being rogue. It just disintegrates slowly but surely.
It actually moves very organically.
Yes. And you see, like now, it doesn't matter if you go to court. In fact, I saw when Sifuna said he's going to court, in the comment section of everywhere in the media, they kept on saying, even Orwoba has court orders. And so what?
Actually, they are wrong. Actually, the so what brigade are wrong.
No, but you see, when the attitude creeps in to the masses, it then becomes a situation of, you know what, even me, I can come to your house and take your things, and so what?
Nile impunity umekuanga ukisema.
It's bread, and it's not bread overnight.
Okay, let me give you an example of why I'm making the statements I am making. Within the ODM party, the party that has had the command of the direction politics takes in Luo Nyanza, where I come from, a lot of it, if not its entirety, centered on Raila Odinga. There are people who, if it wasn't for Raila's say-so, would never have seen parliament.
Obviously.
With Raila not being there, now they will definitely not see parliament.
For sure.
And they will most certainly not see parliament or the political positions they had. And that is if the people who were genuinely popular were never given the chance. For whatever reason. Impunity has an end date. It has an
expiry.
It has an expiry date. You may not think so. Because in its wake, it leaves such havoc that people will be quiet. You would wish they would speak because then you would know what they're thinking.
That is what is happening now.
Yes.
That's what's happening
now. So when
now.
people are quiet and they seem to acquiesce what you're saying, you assume they are with you. It's a wrong assumption.
CT, I want this thing I said about being quiet. The last show I did, which is a while back, I said, where are the women leaders? And it was like, yeah, by the way, they're quiet. Only this morning I've seen Shole going to do a show. They just went quiet. Do you know the next time they resurface, Omanga is trying to go to DCP? Wanakunyamazia, wanakuja State House, wanachukua pesa, kuambia boss, vitu ziko sawa, 2 term. Then you wake up and you see someone in a Rura show desperately trying to shake Gachagwa's hand. Then you're in shock. And then you start looking at the people around her. I'm told the people around her, that squad, they are all seeking an appointment with Gachagua. That I can verify. You have a governor of Nakuru who has looked left and right, and including in her house where the husband is working with government. And she has realized she is completely done. She's looking for Gachagua. So, and those people are not talking to Ruto. They are not. Because when you were telling him anything, anakasirika. Mesema mwachane nayo maneno. Oh, boss, unajua Alfred Mutua anakona watu, anachukua pesa ya watu, hawapeleki nje, nasikia watu wanapotea Russia. Wewe, you need to learn how to work with people. Wewe kazi yako ni kupigana na watu. Russia has exploded. Alfred Mutua chini ya nyasi. I said it, I sang it. Oh, boss, unajua. You know, when the people were talking to you, the few were talking to you, you reprimanded them. Oh, he reprimanded
And they
Moha.
kept quiet.
Yeah, me, I was persistent because, it's very difficult to shut me up. But in the end, they said, sasa huyu kama nyamazi tumtoe. I spoke about so many things. This thing of money for pads was stolen, squandered. Now nobody's even talking about it. They are not even Parliament was told, don't try to bring that
Story.
The story. Yeah, wachania na hiyo maneno. There are enough scandals. We are not going to add periods on top of it. So at the end of it, it's quiet.
Until it explodes.
One day, someone is in a Rorashio desperate for Gachagwa's handshake. Someone in your innermost circle. Even mine, at least you could see me starting to get uncomfortable. There was like a gradual, because I would speak, I would come to studio, I would say, I don't know what my boss, and then at one point, you could see, you could actually you could anticipate it. But now you have people who are sitting there loyal to the core, you think, texting me, tutafutie appointment na Matiangi. Huko Kisii, Osoro amenyamaza, ameingia chini ya nyasi. Because now it's survival.
Osoro amekutext?
Amenyamaza.
Okay.
Ameacha kutukana Matiangi. Ameacha kunitukana. Ameachana na sisi. Because pesa imeacha kukuja. Brokers wamekuwa wengi.
We had Onyonka here. I love that man and I love the way he speaks. Mbuvi asked him, you have said in the past that if Matiangi asks you will drop the party. He said immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he continued and said, all politics is local.
All politics is local.
Yes.
And so for those who understand it, now this is what we are calling transfer window. Transfer window. But the worst thing about it is there are people who, they don't care about the people. They are just seeking to survive and stay in parliament so they can keep going to the gym parliament and the gym lounge. So, and that's where Kenyans really need to be very... Kenyans need to start looking at individuals vis-a-vis the party.
Right.
What does this person stand for?
But Senator,
Yeah.
On that note, exactly.
Yeah.
These politicians, the entire lot of them.
Really? The entire lot?
No, I'm asking the question and I'm lumping all of them.
Okay.
All in my question. Which one of these politicians who purport to be in positions of leadership, and some actually are, actually have a plan to alleviate the poverty of this country and to increase the economic might of this country and to ensure that the citizenry actually get what is due to them? Which of these leaders? Which one? I want you to tell me the ones you know.
In terms of, because now we are talking about more than 300
no. Mimi naongea hao watu ambao ni viongozi wa vyama. Yes, now if there are others who are not there, mention.
I would personally, now that I've interacted and now that I know the opposition leaders to what they stand for and on a personal level, and when I'm talking about the opposition leaders, I'm talking about all of them, I can vouch for them. The intent might not be from the same place. Okay, so I'm trying to say this. Someone like me, if you come and talk to me about Ruto, I can't. I sincerely can't. You know what I mean? Mine is personal. Mine is, I have seen how he has allowed Kenyans to die. Some of those Kenyans I knew. You understand? So mine might come, you might call it a place of vengeance, but the end goal is, this guy cannot be put anywhere near power. He needs to be removed because it's the reason, our Linda Mama was gone. My where I'm coming from is a different place, but where I'm going with it is the same place, that we must change the country. You see what I mean? Now, that's the only difference. You'll find Martha Karua, where she's coming from, with why she wants to change the country, is different from, for instance, where Matiangi is coming from. Because all of us, politicians, all of us, including MPs and whatever, we have different experiences with the country's leadership. And there's a time I told people, this united opposition thing is just the same. It's like moving from, people are saying it's moving from one Ruto to another Ruto. And I told them, no. If you really dissect why you should stand with the united opposition, it's because all those principles have worked with Ruto in some capacity. So they are not telling you some theory. They are not, it is not like Wajakoya coming to tell you about Ruto. Every single united opposition principle has worked directly with Ruto, either in parliament, in cabinet, in the executive, to some level. And every time I say that the reason why Gachagua comes out more passionately is because he's the only one that worked with Ruto when Ruto was the president. So he has seen Ruto in power. Whereas someone like Matiang'i has seen Ruto in power as a deputy. You understand? So when you see the different reactions from the opposition, you have to ask yourself, why is Eugene Wamalwa approaching this issue from this place? Then you look at the context of Eugene Wamalwa and how he has worked with Ruto. That's why he probably understands Ruto can't even run a ministry or whatever, because his interaction with him at that point was on that level, you see. So for me, I feel like it is the perfect mix of individuals who understand the problems of this country, first of all, from a point of the actual problems, but also from a point of the central thing, which is the leadership is non-existent, and they understand who the leader is.
But when they speak, I don't get the impression they have a comprehensive understanding of the problems that Kenyans have. Because when they speak,
give me an example. Don't say when they. You have to.
Oh
say
no,
when.
I'm actually theying them. I'm actually putting them all in the same box. Their politics centers on the things this government has done and what Ruto has done wrong. It's not on what they think ought to be done, which is better. No, it is. Yes, it is.
I think you're being very unfair to
Okay,
them.
tell me which of these
Matiang'i
leaders.
has been in so many setups and forums.
Mpigie mzee debe vizuri kwa sababu I will come back. Mpigie
No,
debe.
I mean, not a kumpigia debe. Siti, if you are handsome, I'll say you are handsome. Hiyo si kupigia mtu debe is a fact.
Sawa sawa kunipaka.
Is a fact. So,
But
so the
she
fact
has not
no.
said you're handsome.
I am trying to say I'm stating facts.
Yes,
and when you're stating facts, si kupigia mtu debe. For instance, when Matiang'i speaks of the things that he intends to do if given this country, he's not speaking from a point of hawa watu wameweka sha tutarudisha NHIF. He's also speaking from a point of what he did. Because Matiang'i, of all people, at the time when he was in office as a, let me say, super CS, he had a lot of influence in most of the things that were happening to some extent. And we saw how he actually used that influence to the positive on education and all these things that you want to talk about. But you can't say that they only talk about what Ruto has done. Martha Karua has spoken about judicial, let me say, the cleansing of the judicial system. She has spoken about the constitution. You know, when Martha started and she was the Minister of Justice, when I knew her, not when she started, when I started knowing who Martha Karua is, was when she made, we don't even have that ministry now. She took a ministry and made it something that people could not imagine. It was a very powerful ministry, and it was ensuring that the constitution was, you know, it literally highlighted the need of constitutionalism.
It was Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs.
Yeah, and you can't wash away what Martha brings to the table, and she speaks about these reforms that need to be done, the independence of institutions from her point of perspective. And not only, let's not limit her to the law, she also speaks about what is our role within the East African community. Look at what is happening. Yala people are not even being paid. That's how bad we have participated as a country, Kenya. That's how bad we as Kenya have participated, to an extent that a regional body that had so much sense and was uniting East Africa is actually, we are watching the disintegration and the breakdown of that body.
Who's not been paid again?
Yala have not been paid. I saw for about
Have we made our contribution?
It's not only about contributions, it's also about the influence we have in terms of the seats we hold, even in the AU.
But kama kuna pesa,
let me give you an example. When Tanzania was having the problem, which they are still having, by the way,
election problem.
Yeah, when Tanzania was having the problem in their country, you know, the African Union did not even come out. And when I say African Union, we are strongly part of it. We are actually the big boys in that African Union. Did not even come out to utter anything. In 2007, 2008, when we had the post-election violence, by the way, I wasn't that young, but I was young. You know, it took the chair of AU, who at that time is the former president of Ghana, John Kufuor. It took him, and he actually was like, what is happening in this country? We have a responsibility to make sure, as Africa, we stop all these possible civil wars in these countries. So it was actually a combination of what he stands for, you understand, as a person, his principles, his objective with African Union, and the office that he held, which is the chair of African Union, for him to intervene.
Mheshimiwa,
Now, when all these other things are happening, you ask yourself, our role as Kenya, and by the way, our president even sits as a climate, whatever, that's chair of nini, hizo vitu zenye anafanyanga huko. You ask yourselves, like, the role as a country that we have, to even just close our eyes and say we are not going to speak up about the injustices that are happening just next door. That is not because as a country we have chosen. It is because our leader, William Ruto, doesn't see anything wrong with it. So that's why I'm saying these other leaders, City, back to your question.
Yes.
You can't just put them in a blanket and say they're only talking about Shah and Ruto and they don't have content.
Senator.
I think you're not listening. I think you need to start listening. And even Gachagua, who most professors and learned people who have masters, PhDs and all these high level things disregard because they think maybe he's crass or his village or all these things that you have. If you listen to him, he's the one that brought up the issues of Northeastern, and suddenly the spotlight was on how Northeastern is being
Mheshimiwa, you're right.
when you have leaders who actually believe in what they're doing and they have clear purpose, then you can see the institution responding to good leadership. And I was trying to tell CT, the problem is that as Kenyans, and including as Kenyan leadership, you know, this problem we're having in Kenya is not limited to Kenya. Unfortunately or fortunately, our president is also he has also taken up leadership positions within the regional institutions. And so this bad manners that we have in Kenya has been scaled out to the regional institutions and including the African Union. And that's the reason why we were unable to strongly stand up for our brothers and sisters in Tanzania, because the African Union has literally been watered down to just an institution of rubber stamping. You know, we had with no authority. That is why you're seeing most of these African countries, when they have internal conflicts, they are so quick to go to the International Criminal Court because they have given up in the African Union to some extent, so to speak. So, and I was saying, we have a role as Kenya. It is also our fault. Our president has also put us in this mess, because we, as the big brother of East Africa to begin with, should be helping to solve whatever problem we have, for instance, in the East African Legislative Assembly, which is completely big, disintegrating, and I don't even think in the next 5 years it will exist. So, and that's what I was trying to say. When you have bad leadership, so let me summarize it this way. In 2007 and 2008, when we had the post-election violence, had it not been for what the chair of the African Union at that time, was John Kifo, was standing for, and his principles, and you know, the leadership that he exhibited, our country would have completely disintegrated. In fact, today we would be an equivalent of DRC. We would be all trying to get passports for South Africa so we can flee the country, because it took one man at that time to say something is happening in a country in Africa. I am the chair of the African Union and I have to step in. And you know, he could have also sat back the way we have seen the African Union chair sitting back during Tanzania. You know, we are seeing African Union pretending that they don't understand the turmoil that what Kenya is going through in terms of, you know, you have to start listening to the people. People are telling you IBC must be independent. When it starts appearing like it is working for the executive, you know, it is just a recipe of what is, you know, yet to come. So I feel like we have, unfortunately, and I have participated in it, so that one I have to also take some form of responsibility, that I feel like as much as we think that the problems that we have now by having a bad leader or bad leadership, bad MPs. By the way, even our members of parliament, some of them are also seconded to the Pan-African Parliament. So, and I can tell you, some of them have really bad manners and they have taken the bad manners there. So we really have to call ourselves in order. We have to call ourselves to order and tell ourselves, these bad manners that we are encouraging and brewing and thinking that we get away with it because we are in Kenya and we run the show, we have actually scaled it up to the region, and it is becoming a problem even to the African continent. Whereas other countries are planning on how to go to space and Mars and create cities there and start a whole, you know, lifestyle there. We are having a president who is telling us about Singapore, and he cannot fix the healthcare system. Kids are home. Basic things, just the way I have asked you, do you want to go to Singapore? You've said you just want to pay your bills. You don't even know how Singapore is. So and we are standing on podiums as leaders and encouraging it and telling him, Your Excellency, sisi tunataka utupeleke Singapore. Are you mad? Your Excellency, as you stand there and tell us you're taking us to Singapore, leo my relatives are sending me SMSs telling me niwachangie mtoto wao anaenda hospitali. So, to one extent, we are the problem also. But first of all, in ile kitu, when you have a cancer, the thing, it's literally, there's an option of chop off that arm before it spreads. And this arm is William Ruto. It's a bad cancer. Beyond stage 4. He has scaled it up. Look at what he's doing with the climate space. It is bad. The other day, that company, it's called Coco, shut down because we want to, the executive wants to have a stake in every single business. Every single business, there is someone's finger there trying to make money. That we were okay with saying we are not going to give these people licenses to continue with this business that is actually employing, was it over 200 or is it 600? So we'd rather shut it down, tutaanza tena, wacha watoko waende. That's how stupid we have become. But also it's because we as Kenyans from the ward level are electing stupid people. Then we go to the constituency level, you elect people who you know very well, this person doesn't even care about you or about your well-being. But you know what? Tumeambiwa, tufanye, tufuate. We are doing that. So for me, and I know most politicians hate it when I say this, but I'm telling people, look at Gloria Orwoba. What does she stand for? And if you can't find something that she stands for, leave her alone. But if you look at her and you say, huyu hata tangu tuanze huko youth policy analyst, she has fought for the rights of women. I have fought for the rights of women and girls in this country. I continue to fight. It's a passion that I have.
Yes.
But there are people who you ask them, now they are trying to decamp, come this way and that way. Ask them, huyu anasimamia nini? Saizi akiulizwa tu wachana na hiki, what do you like to do? What is your passion? You cannot even point to their passion. And that is how this country was saved. It was saved because of the passion, the integrity, and the dignity of the chair of African Union 207-208,
yes,
who used his office to do the right thing. So we need to put people in offices so that we can have office holders who want to do the right thing.
Have we seen some, apart from I just mentioned Mohaj Jopevu, but do we know of individuals who've left UDA and it is very visible out there that have decided that they're going to take a different route because of what the Kenya Kwanza government, according to them, stands for?
I honestly cannot give you a proper answer on that because, quite frankly, when I mentally left UDA, when I realized
you
people,
blocked yourself.
No, I just also my resilience is turnaround time is high. Me, when I break up with you, I break up with you.
Okay.
By the time unafikira unaniletea flowers, my friend, I moved on. So I can't tell you that I've been following on what UDA people have been doing, and quite frankly, I want to say this with authority. The ones that were there, and you could see they're trying to be sane enough to tell the president you're going wrong, and they would try in their ways. They're cowards. They're cowards. Because if there was at least 15 of me, I would still be in Senate, and the president would not be doing the shenanigans he's doing. So I don't want to talk about UDA MPs because they are cowards. Cowards.
Let's talk about ODM then. What do you think is happening there? Because we are seeing this Linda Ground versus Linda, is it Mwananchi?
ODM was buried on that Sunday when we buried
Baba.
There's no ODM. Everything that's happening, they are just using ODM's name. ODM was buried. And when every delegation kept on going to pay respects, they were paying respects to ODM and to Baba.
So in essence, am I to understand that you're saying with your last statement, ODM was Baba?
Yes.
And when Baba passed on, the party also passed on.
There was a flicker of hope about a month ago, was it a month, when the daughter tried to do a rally
in Kibra with the son Raila Jr.
Oh, I woke up, I'm like, oh my God, I think we buried only Raila, but maybe ODM is alive. And then I discovered, no.
Why is it that you feel that ODM, even after Raila's passing away, has to be synonymous with him?
Because he believed in the things that he was doing, and he was passionate about the things he was doing. He did not need to be given money for mobilization from State House.
No.
And he did not need to be kicked out from the a position for him to do something. He just always did the things he wanted to do. You understand what I mean? I did not need to have my seat in Senate to go out and speak my voice. I've been speaking my voice forever. When I had my seat in Senate, I was still speaking my voice. After they kicked me out of Senate, I'm still speaking out. That shows you that speaking out is my passion. Baba's passion was to defend the people of this country. And he never needed any incentive to do it. When he died, the people who have been left, they need incentive. They are either fighting for their own personal positions, or they're looking for money, as we have seen. So you can't compare what is happening now with the real ODM, because ODM, when Baba was running it, he was running it from his heart. Alikuwa analala akiamka anasema, today my party, what are we going to do? These people wanaamka wanaangalia WhatsApp. Tumeambiwa tuende, Ruto amesema tuende tufanye function. Ametuma pesa ngapi? Tuna print t-shirts. If Ruto doesn't say, they'll stop doing.
If indeed what you say is true, then I could argue that if Raila was the party, then the sort of sentiments that you express about instructions being given, Raila would give similar instructions. Now,
No, because and now this is the difference between me and UCT. You are not a practicing politician. Let me tell you, a practicing politician, if you want to have a movement, a real movement, you inspire. You call people, you tell them. I call my team, I tell them, you guys, this thing is like this. You inspire. By the time I leave that meeting, CT, you're not telling me to go and do anything. I'm inspired. I'm the one telling you. By the way, niko na mama naenda kuongelesha. I'm the one now telling you, based on the conversation we have had, this is how I feel I can contribute to the movement. He would never give instructions.
So the people who you work with, you never guide them or tell them what they should do. They know and understand what they should do.
You guide them, but it's self-driven when it's a real and true movement. That's why the Hustler Nation movement was real and true. Ruto would sit down politicians and inspire them. If he was not inspiring, Gachagua would not have been his deputy. Gachagua only works with people he's inspired by. If you don't know.
No, I actually don't know.
He is a person who will not work with you because there's an assignment to be done. He sort of Gachagua is not ice cream. He's an acquired taste. An acquired taste is like me. I am not ice cream. People don't like me at first sight. Then they sit with me and they're like,
Kumbe there's something here.
Kumbe unajua hata hizi vitu. So it's an acquired taste. And people like that, they don't operate like these Akina Junet fellas where you are called and told go to Nini and do. People like that, they want to work with people who believe in the same vision that they have. And by the time Ruto managed to get Gachagua to his side, it was about inspiring him. That is why you see he's so bitter when he comes out and says, mtu alitudanganya, because it is true. Alimdanganya. So if you're in a political movement where you feel like you have to wake up and get instructions, that's not a movement. You are not inspired. You don't have an inspiring leader. You must be your leader must inspire you to wake up every morning without any instructions to say, how am I going to add value?
The inspiration you speak of, you've taken me back to the years of Mandamano that ODM was involved in.
Let me ask you, Kitengela.
Yes.
Those people were inspired. Sifuna inspired them.
Really?
Oh, ask me.
Really?
We have gone to rallies where...
See, I'm asking you.
Very really.
Really?
Really, really.
Okay, explain please.
Really, really. To get people to come out on a Sunday, to that extent, to listen to a person who's not necessarily a kingpin of anywhere, because Sifuna is not a kingpin of anywhere, and to make them resonate with you.
So what does he represent? Because he represents something, and so whatever he represents, if I'm to go with the argument that inspires people to come and listen to him, he is the kingpin of that thing which he represents.
New age politics.
He embodies it.
Yes, it's a new age politics.
And people want to hear what he has to say.
People are tired of the usual politics. We've had it sincerely since Moi days. Even us who are practicing, we are tired of it.
But kuna watu walikuwa tunaonoka, I think ni Linda Ground.
Oh, there were like 12 people?
They were not
No,
12.
they were not 12.
But they were
There was a crowd,
significant
and that crowd was not 12, that's for sure.
Do you think Oburu would pull a similar crowd
Does
in
Oburu
Kitengela?
inspire you?
I cannot answer that question.
No, you must. You must. We're talking about inspiration.
Yeah.
Do you feel
And
inspired
you're
by
the one who brought up the name, so you must answer.
You must answer. Do you feel inspired
Okay,
by...
ask again.
You know, do you... we're talking about inspiration and a movement. Does Senator Mheshimiwa Party Leader Oburu inspire you?
I do not know him for him to inspire me. I simjui sana yani.
But no, people don't know Sifuna. They've never sat down with Sifuna. But they came out in numbers. You don't need to know me on my personal level. You need to listen to me and feel, wow, that's a person I want to follow. Does Senator Oburu inspire you?
No, he doesn't.
There you have it.
You know,
Yeah.
you know this thing that we call waves in this country, huh?
It's inspiration.
It is. Because how did President Ruto get people to take note of him? That hustler narrative was inspiring, my friend.
It's inspiring.
It pulled very many people because it was a complete breakaway from the politics that we were accustomed to. That man was talking about issues. This is the whole point.
He was talking about issues, and I have given my story severally on how I fell into the hands of your president, William Ruto.
Yeah.
It was through inspiration.
Yes.
Yeah, I went to the office and he inspired me, and he spoke of the things we need to do and what this country is.
And he said, "Boss."
And it was resonating with the things that I'd come back to do in this country. And he tapped into the thing that for me felt, wow, we can be in the same WhatsApp group. And I was inspired, and from them I became Foot Soldier 001.
Yeah.
Until, of course, I realized it's all a hoax. And then I started making noise and saying all sorts of things. Oh, you have left the women behind. You have left the women behind. Oh, this, oh, that. And I became problematic. Out I was. So now, you must be inspired by your leader.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's...
Kidogo itakuwa tricky.
Senator, you're a practicing politician, okay? There is something that we tend to see in the political sphere, that is the disconnect between what politicians say they want to do and what they actually do. That's aspirational. What you want to do is aspirational. What is this reality that you confront once you're in the office, and suddenly the things that you thought you could do,
you realize you can't do?
Not quite in the way that you said it.
Of course, there's the issue of overpromising.
Yes.
Yeah, most leaders overpromise, because there's always this feeling that you need to be an edge extra than your competitor, so you overpromise. And then obviously when you get into office, you underdeliver. Outrightly, it became like you lied to us. With Ruto, it's a combination of so many things. One of them is overpromising, because when you tell women, and just engage me here for a bit, when you sit us down and you have realized these women, if they talk to other women, they'll bring votes. So you sit us down as the leaders of the Kenya Kwanza Women Charter, and you really inspire us, and you know that sisi tuko na shida ya kuzaa, na diapers, na pads, and we want free health care for maternity, and unajua we are being sexually harassed, so we want safeguarding in all the spaces. You speak our language, and we leave that room. We left that room and we said we are going to do a charter that will speak to the women, because we are women and we know, and we've all been harassed one way or another, and we've all given birth. Hey, imagine getting diapers for the first 3 months for your child, free from government. You want
that
to
would
just
be
go
awesome.
So we wrote it down very quickly before huyu mwanaume aende kuchange mind. Tukaenda Nyayo Stadium on a very big ceremony. That's why I said engage me here for a little bit, and we were so excited. I had tears in my eyes. Because
walikuwa Singapore tayari.
Because
hiyo kitu ilisainiwa Singapore.
Listen to me, because me, when I left that country, I was leaving Denmark.
Yes.
I said I must come home and change something. And the only way to change something is to join politics. I've seen the power of opposition. So now I was seeing my dreams are coming true. I've come back home. I am in a faction that is inspiring me. And this our leader, who is actually looking like he'll be the president, is willing to give women of Kenya things that I wanted to do. Free diapers when they give birth for the first 3 months. Free pads to all school girls, is willing to sit down with us and understand the safeguarding of all this harassment we go through in matatus, in supermarkets, in clubs. There's a lot of harassment of women. Willing to listen to femicide, willing to, yani the women, he has women in his heart. Mimi nilikuwa nakuzia sera za William Ruto with the women charter. Wewe mwenyewe unatoa kura yako hata yenye hukuwa nayo, unaweka kwa hiyo kikapu. And then we are in Nyayo Stadium. We are clapping. I'm seeing that event because now I really want to be part of this change that my country is going to have. We are even signing the charter, on the screen, big screen. The first lady is there with us. We are just thinking, that time she's the wife. Tunasema hata bibi yake ameelewa ikitu. Hata yeye anakipitia. Anajua, ameelewa. She's with us. We have tears like this in our eyes because it's the beginning of our journey. Then this man, akashikilia Biblia. Sema toka hapa na hizi vitu zenu za mama. It's heartbreak. And it's not heartbreak ile yenye we can move on. It's personal because I am now pregnant. Those things I was pushing for, I need them. I am going to Pumwani and Mama Lucy. Mama Lucy, they tell me, scan utalipia. Hakuna scan ya free. Unalipia scan. And I'm sitting there dealing with the consequences of my decisions. And when I get my baby, they are fighting me now. I have just given birth.
No salary.
No salary. The man that I went all around telling women, up and kura yetu, it make sense, is fighting me. He doesn't give a damn. I've just given birth. They take me out of Senate. A few months down the line, that same man calls the Speaker of the Senate. The Speaker of the Senate calls the Clerk of the Senate. The Clerk of the Senate calls the insurance company and says, huo mtu na tulikuwa tumemtoa. Mbona munamlipia hizo vitu za mtoto wake? Tunasikia mtoto wake ameenda hospitali. Toa hizo vitu. Which is okay because then I'm like, thank God I took my SHA details. So I shift to my SHA things. I go to SHA and I see stars, proper stars that I had already been telling Aden Duale just a week before they removed me that this Linda Mama thing that you replaced, this thing that you replaced Linda Mama with is not working. Aden Duale stood in chambers and told me, no, I know, no, Senator, you don't know. And he was arguing with me. Who has just given birth? Who has just gone through this? Aden Duale with no womb, who doesn't have periods, can never give birth, is arguing with me about things that I am going through in Mama Lucy and government hospitals. Hapo ndo naambiwangwa kula ujeuri yako. So mine is heartbreak because I came out of Denmark to come and change my country, and I found myself as part of the people who further tanked the country to the gutter that we are in.
Yours was betrayal.
It is not betrayal. It is, I find it like it is, betrayal you can get over very quickly. You get a new partner and you move on. Yeah. This one was, ushaiona mtu mwenye anakuangalia anakuchekelea, it will give you diapers. So it feels like you actually, you despise women. You think nothing of women. And it shows you how he treats the women around you. You think nothing of women. And how was I? It is like being told that now we have the Epstein files. It is like being a woman there and being told, by the way, ni kwa sababu yako, au wanawake 30 walikandamizwa. You really, it's heavy.
Ina uzito.
Because saizi nikiambiwa ama nikiona kwa news mama amekufa akizaa nini kifanyika SHA sijui nini, I feel personally responsible because I sold this guy to these women. So that is why now I am very careful not to get too excited. I'm very careful. Even when we're sitting talking about the issues of women, I don't want to find myself in a movement or a pact or selling an agenda with someone who I know or has even given some level of indication that they will not fulfill the promises. Because all the promises that William Ruto promised the women of Kenya, he has not fulfilled not even one. In fact, the only
not even one.
Because even the easiest one, 50% cabinet, women in cabinet, till today. What is so hard to just pick women?
You know,
I mean, if we could pick Cheptumo's wife and put her in gender, sincerely, we can just pick someone else's wife and make them 50%.
You know, you know
what I mean? You can just 50%, just kind women. Let's start from there. Let's not even talk about competency. First even just get 50 women. Then wacha waingie Wakenya wasema wamama hawajui kufanya kazi. But give us the chance, you know.
We've been challenging people who are in a position to at least even just mention something that the government has done. You're saying that the president has done nothing for women.
Nothing.
Absolutely, like hakuna
kitu. In fact, you know what he has done? He has taken away the gains that many women, including Martha Karua, fought for.
Okay.
When you punish a whistleblower for raising the issue of sexual harassment in a workplace, you have told all the women in that workplace, dare you even say. So he has even taken away the gains. When William Ruto hosts a known rapist, literally, we have seen videos. We were subjected to videos of this person.
BBC walieka pale
walituwekea, yani we saw that thing. We have witnesses. We even have a witness who was killed and called alleged suicide. You know, in that case. How do you host that kind of a person in your political party, first of all? You dress them in the regalia and then you bring them to State House. Even the sanctity of State House has been completely watered down. Yani tunasema tu at this point, anyone can go to State House. And of course, State House is for hustlers. We are not saying it's not for hustlers. But are we saying State House is for rapists, murderers, and thugs? Hata kwa nyumba yako unapelekanga rapists, murderers, and thugs?
Of course not.
Yeah.
But
why State House?
Can you pinpoint anything that the government has done? Anything?
Me, I'm talking about women. I was heavily involved in drafting the Women Charter, the Kenya Kwanza Women Charter. And I am telling you, if I bring it here today, we go point by point by point. William Ruto has, in fact, gone an extra mile to take away the things we already had. Like that Linda Mama.
And how does that benefit him?
It doesn't. He just doesn't care about women. If you know him, you know he really, honestly, sincerely thinks nothing of women.
So what does he care about, really?
I think business, money, power,
That's
revenge to his opponents, people who have wronged him in the past when he was probably poor and a hustler.
Well, we're still on this issue of GBV and women. You've seen this clip of this alleged Russian person.
It's not alleged. That Russian.
Yeah, we're not sure that he's Russian. He could be Ukrainian.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying.
Yes. So we've seen.
So let's say Eastern European.
Of this white Caucasian person.
Eastern European, because he should come either from Kazakhstan, you know, some
Mali na uko.
Mali na hapo.
What are your thoughts on his behavior?
I think he should be jailed. If indeed it is true, first of all, that he's HIV positive, he's actually going out of his way to infect people. That's crime number one. Crime number two is he's recording people without consent. That's crime number two. Crime number three, he's distributing the recordings of those people without their consent. Crime number four, which is depending on which country you come from, it is actually called psychological gender-based violence. He is participating actively in it. And that, depending on which country you are in, they take very seriously. Obviously, with this country where the president doesn't really care about women, I don't think they take it seriously. But I want to say this. I've said, people always accuse me that, oh, utaongea mama, you don't care about men. No, I have two sons. So I do care about, I'm raising men. Every time someone wants to blame the victim, I am very careful not to participate in it. Because those people are victims. However way you want to look at it, si hao ndo walikuja, si alimpata kwa supermarket akaingia, those people are victims of so many things that you are not even aware of. They are victims of poverty, a failed system. They are victims of gender-based violence through their marriages in the house. They are victims of neglect. They are victims of, you know, I mean, mtu tu akwambia, oh, you're looking beautiful na umeingia box. Oh my God, even your childhood must have been traumatic. So these are victims. However way you look at it, they are victims of something. So they are responding in their nature as victims. It is like the Stockholm syndrome. At one point, you are attracted to the aggressor. So these are victims. And the only thing I want to say, because I don't want to go to blame the women, of course, we are raised as girls in this country as being told, watch where you walk, watch what you wear, watch who you talk to. But we never raise our boys not to be rapists. You never hear someone sitting down their son and saying, what you have done is wrong. Kama huyo msichana ataki hiyo pencil, wacha kuforce achukue hiyo pencil. We never raise our boys not to be aggressors. But we focus so much on the victim. We raise our girls how to be victims, how to be proper victims. That is the reason why when the LSK story on sexual harassment came out, again, our society is carved in a way to quickly put the photos of those two ladies and persecute them. But when we have issues of gender-based violence and sexual harassment, including in my case, where I actually still stand by it, people stood to say, but he has a family. But as if I don't have a family. My people, I have families. I have children. I have everything. You want to stand and say, do not mention his name. Do not live stream this Senate proceeding because we have to safeguard this guy. We are quick to go and safeguard the aggressor. And quick to come out and say, huyu ni malaya na malipstick zake. Right? So, for me, I look at this society and I say, until we start raising our boys to not be rapists and aggressors, and that has to come from the culture on how we respond to these things, then we'll go nowhere. And by the way, I'm still waiting to see a poster of the faces of the men, because there are many of the LSK lawyers who have been the men who have been harassing females in that space, because the only poster circulating is of two women, yet hundreds of lawyers, women, have come out to say this lawyer so and so who's a man. You see, even how we respond towards it. Many a times the media, they do a story of a case of how a 7-year-old girl was defiled. They never post the face of the aggressor, but they'll even go ahead to post the face of the victim. And we are just not sensitive towards it. So I want to say he should be arrested. I've already mentioned for you the 4 crimes that he has participated in.
Yes.
And I want to stay away from saying our girls should also. No. In a world where there is no man recording you for whatever reason, then the girls don't need to do anything. If there is no rapist, the girl doesn't need to dress well.
Yeah.
If there is no physical violence, the girl doesn't need to be told carry pepper spray. Let us also for once say we are tired of preparing our girls to be victims. Now, can we prepare our boys to not be rapists or aggressors? That is my take on it.
Now that you're in the united opposition, what are your political ambitions going forward?
First of all, have you resigned from UDA?
No. I'm still a member of UDA. Yeah.
How does that work? You are you are in the united opposition and you're still a member of UDA.
I don't want to make many changes. No, you know, united opposition is not a party. Let me summarize it this way. Nelson Harvey left UDA. In about 2 weeks, he was in Maraga's party. In about another 3 weeks, he was in DAPK. In about another how many weeks, he was in DCP. Very unnecessary. Take your time. Think through what you want to do, because there's no hurry per se. I remain who I am as Gloria, so Gloria will not change. And I just want, from the lessons that I have learned of being in UDA, I want to be very careful to pick a party that I am going to get into. So for me, I don't see the necessity as at now to resign, because I haven't conclusively decided on which of the united opposition parties I will join. But I am in united opposition. If they had a party, let's say like a United Opposition Alliance Party, I would probably join that one immediately. because I believe in what all these united opposition parties are selling. But now I have to really fine-tune my agenda, my future, what I want to do for the people of Kenya, and say, okay, in this party, then I think I can do a lot of things here. So I'm not about to be in 4 parties before I decide which one. It is very unnecessary.
Yeah. But yeah, so what are we expecting from Gloria?
I'm going to be in parliament. Yeah, I'm vying for a seat, and I'm going to be in parliament.
Yeah. You don't want to tell us which position?
Again, I've told you I'm not going to jump. There's an aspirant of gubernatorial who has billboards. One morning she had an event with women and told those women that she's vying for gubernatorial in Nairobi. The next day she told them she's going to be the deputy of another gubernatorial candidate. By day 4 she was telling people she's a women rep. Again, I want to tell you, it is completely unnecessary. There is no hurry. You know why I'm saying it's completely unnecessary?
Yes.
If you know who you are, right? I know who I am. Who I am will not change.
Yes.
But I have to also decide in what capacity can I really serve the people of Kenya effectively with whatever is happening, because it's not just happening outside in a bubble. It's happening in the context of the current politics. One thing though I have confirmed is I am vying for a seat. I am vying,
and you should.
Yeah.
And you should.
And I'm vying for a parliamentary seat. I will be in parliament is both National Assembly and Senate.
Yes.
Yeah. So that much I can tell you. The rest, I'm kind of, as I said, I am not going to be the person that
it's important
changes.
to be cautious.
Yeah. And I believe we never ask men these things. You just keep pressuring women to tell you, unaenda kiti gani. No.
Actually, we do ask men.
Here you do.
Here
you do. In other places, they just sort of give them a through pass. Like, let me not give you the pressure of declaring that. And it's just, it's the nature of politics. I feel like women,
actually, must we let it? No. I've not differed with you since you got here, but allow me to differ with you. This is too serious an issue for us to conclude that this is the state of things. That is a state that must be changed.
Yes.
It can't be accepted, because it's an accepting it that we perpetuate all these problems that we keep speaking about.
Unfortunately, Kenyans, we don't, until this is that saying of when it happened to the Jews, then I kept quiet, and and finally it came to you, there was no one to speak for you. And I said it even in Senate, and then now you can see Halwale was removed. Kenyans just don't want to participate in things that they think don't affect them directly. So one of the things that I want to start doing in the next 3 months is showcasing how this utterance by William Ruto will affect you in your house, so that you start seeing, I have to actually do something. Because sometimes people feel like hizo ni zile maneno za constitution review. Sasa mi hata najua constitution review. But when you tell them hii itakuongezea rent yako itatoka from 5k to 7k, they start paying attention. So the problem we're having is simplifying the messaging of what is happening in the political circle, such that the common mwananchi understands it actually involves you and you need to make a decision. Sensitizing the people. I want to start doing that. People never used to know how parliament works until I was taken out. And now I was telling them about parliament. And now anytime I'm in any convening, personal or otherwise, someone will come with a weird question. So umesema speaker ni wa Ruto. I'm like, uko unajua speaker ni wa Ruto. Lakini si speaker sasa ndio mkubwa. Do you know we vote them? Like, if you have a majority in the house, and of course the majority was Ruto's people, and Ruto puts a speaker, so speaker ni wa Ruto. Okay. So
too late.
Yeah, but too late, because if you knew that, probably you'd be thinking, then I should not send this member of parliament, because this member of parliament will not work for me, they'll work for Ruto. So
yeah, I know you had made a request to leave now, but before we let you go, you led, you supported President Ruto, and then now that you're no longer, buddies with him, you've come out and you've apologized to Kenyans. Are we going to see something similar in case you support someone in the united opposition, they end up winning, and then they end up
No.
you come back and then start saying, guys, I'm so sorry.
No, because this is the difference. When I supported Ruto, I didn't have enough influence to hold him down and accountable to the things he promised me. The people who had influence are the likes of Alice Wahome and Soipan, and that's why every time I'm looking at them, because like, you people need to go hold that guy down and tell him, this is what you promised, because they have that capability. Now in the united opposition, I am building a relationship with all of them such that by the time we are declaring who the flag bearer is, let me tell you something. You saw me in front of parliament na minyororo kwa shingo protesting. I will not, this hands-off thing that you see is hands-off, like, oh, now what can we do? I have no influence. I technically don't have influence because the person I supported at that time, I really didn't, it's my first rodeo. This is the first time I've been in politics. I was very new to it. Now I have mastered the systems of how to hold you accountable to the extent that wherever I end up, if you promise us that you're going to give us pads or diapers or free maternal health care,
you better.
Or no, I will make you do it. I will be there to that is why I have to get elected, because I want to be personally accountable and to be able to go there and put up a shitstorm so that you can do the things that you promised the people of Kenya. So it's not going to be the same, because also I've grown, I've grown in politics. Now there's so many things that I know that I didn't know. And I appreciate that, and that's why I say I still appreciate that I was nominated, because otherwise I wouldn't know how parliament works. Now I know. I know the ins and outs. I know how the political formations are done, how government is formed. Actually, you know what? If I wasn't too young, maybe I would have started telling maybe I should vie for president. But I'm too young, and I still feel I have a lot of learning to put up with, so that I can now have the strength to be able to speak authoritatively.
Yeah.
But whoever I support in the 2027 election,
yes,
for president, I will hold them accountable. Let me tell you, they will have no peace. They will. It is the same way I held Ruto accountable at the beginning until I would be in State House telling him, we are bleeding, give us money, and he just never wanted to see my face because he thought I'd embarrass him all the time, asking for money for pads. So he gave us 1 billion so that I can disappear. And that's the most I could do in terms of accountability.
Yeah.
But this next one, His Excellency Fred Okengo Matiang'i, if it's gonna be you, you are going to have a headache, because I will make sure you deal with women properly and you give them what you promise. If it's going to be Kalonzo Musyoka, he knows. I have said it to him repeatedly. You will not get away with murder. I will be right there like your shadow. If it is Rigathi Gachagua, we have a history, and he knows. You know these people, they know me. So they know I will not let it go. Wamalwa the same. JB the same. Martha Karua is the only woman in this country, when I spoke of sexual harassment, who stood up and supported my claims and said an investigation has to be done. To date, no investigation was done. And she called me and she told me, you have to put the brakes on those men there. I know parliament. How watu wakiachiliwa watatembea with their flies open, raping everyone. Hey. So, she called me. She really called me and she's like, I am so happy you have stood up, because there are some very horrible human beings who end up in parliament. So, that's someone who really resonates and understands what happens there. She's been in parliament, she knows. Yeah. She's the only woman who spoke. All the other ones, they knew what was going on. Some of them, it had happened to them. They didn't speak. So when you see I'm happy in united opposition, I'm like, I'm with real people. People who actually care about this country. People who are real to I want to say, people who I have come to discover to the core of their personalities. They really mean well for this country.
Before you leave, let me just leave you with a thought.
She's leaving at 10. We only 9 minutes.
I have at 10 o'clock.
We will let you go.
And I can't teleport myself. Bado hatujafika Singapore. Hatuna teleporting machines.
There's always this danger with our politics, and the danger is when we are united by common grievances. Those things dissipate very quickly when people are in power.
Is it a danger?
Yes, it is a danger, because
when we
the
said Kibaki
grievances-
Tosha, he gave us free education.
The grievances was against Moi.
But he did work. And he delivered us from the Moi era.
Actually, he didn't. Moi had already... No, he didn't. Moi had already left. He was leaving. Moi's choice was Uhuru. With hindsight, it was a good plan.
Yeah, but when you say the dangers of uniting
Against a common grievance, as opposed to uniting because you have a common goal of improving the lives of the citizenry.
But I'm giving you now factual information that actually dispels what you're saying, because during Kibaki Tosha, we united to chase away Moi and anyone he thinks he will put in.
Moi wasn't chased away.
No.
Moi left.
Yeah, no. But for us, we felt we were uniting to make sure even his surrogates don't see power. So we gave Kibaki. And Kibaki, at that time, he delivered. He gave us free education.
Do you
gave us
know,
roads.
since this is what we're discussing,
He gave us
let me burst this bubble for you a little more.
and he respected the constitution. He was not up on the vehicles every day shouting at us, telling us mutani jua nyinyi, mutani, we don't care about you. So he was working. He was
Senator,
the only thing you can say
Senator,
is he came out to say he only had one wife.
You
But other than that-
already determined that I am a theoretical politician, so allow me to theorize a little more. Okay? Kibaki had a style that we will probably never see in another president soon. He had clarity as to what he wanted to do.
and what he wanted to achieve.
He had enormous clarity. And he dispelled this particular notion that he was a fence sitter. There is something about the presidency in this country where all these presidents have to arrive at a certain understanding with the person who's coming after them. Let me give you one theory. Moi knew Uhuru was never going to be president the first time. He knew. Just like you said, you needed to sort of like spruce yourself up. Moi knew this guy needed to have the opportunity of being known. What that thing did was, we knew there's a guy called Uhuru wanted him to be president. If the whole country knew Uhuru. 10 years down the line, it's Kibaki who would usher in Uhuru.
Yeah, but
In the grand-
don't crush the hopes of people who are uniting against the common theme of removing someone.
No.
Because it counts. It counts.
Senator, I'm not crushing hopes. I am saying that is not the best way to unite. You must add something to it.
Oh yes.
Beyond the grievance,
Oh yes.
you must have this great push and this great urge for the common good.
In a very short while,
Yes.
don't hurry us, because us we are not going to Singapore. Us we are not going. Si hatuna safari mrefu. Si hatuendi Singapore. Sisi tuko tu Kenya. So don't hurry us.
You know, I like your enthusiasm, Senator.
No, listen,
but
don't
you're
hurry
setting
us.
yourself up for another disappointment.
Apana, don't hurry us, because I participated in that manifesto for Kenya Kwanza, and we spent enormous resources in terms of our brains and time, and I can tell you it counts for nothing. It has translated to nothing. It has translated to handouts of 22,000 in a program called Nyota, which we have taken loans from the World Bank to furnish.
It's not a loan.
So we'll discuss. So what I'll tell you for me is I have been in a team that has decided we need manifesto, and I have seen what it has delivered. And now I want, you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results.
Yes.
So
yes.
now I have come to respect the people who say Ruto must come out first. Behind the scenes, and in the next couple of months, you will clearly now see the things that what you want to call a manifesto, which I'm trying to run away from, because I've realized it's also it's doomsday. You will see the things that now the united opposition, the plans, let me not even say plan. I say plan and I just see Ruto's face, because he kept to say, we have a plan.
Then use the word process if it makes you happy.
Process, thank
Yes.
you. The process of now recovering our country from, we are literally in the dump site. So first allow us to bring all the people who want to see Ruto out. Nyinyi mnataka Ruto ende, tunataka Ruto ende, very good. Sasa Ruto for sure anaenda. We know that. We have seen the numbers and we know. I'm going to a meeting where we already know he's going. So now we are planning, after he goes, what are we going to
next?
do? And in the next, within this year, you will now see, we have all agreed Ruto is going. Our numbers are here. We are now sure he's going. Now that he's going, this is what we want the people of Kenya to agree with us that we are going to do. That is the formula we are going to take this time. This time we are not coming to tell you we will do. You will do what when Ruto is in status?
If you are standing for a position within this county of Nairobi, I will vote for you. But your enthusiasm may lead you to further disappointment. I personally have very little faith in politicians. Personally. Because I've seen too many with promises. I've seen what they end up doing.
No, I want to give you hope. And I want to give you faith. And I want to drop a seed and hopefully it germinates and sticks with you. When I was in Ruto's camp, 2020, 21, 22, every day we would be in studio with the likes of Mark Bichache. Every day we would be in studio with those people who 100% thought we are full of nonsense because this hustler thing is nonsense. And we told them, us personally, we believe in it. It has to start. You know, you can't sell something you don't believe in.
True story.
And by the time we reached 2022, June, it now started dawning on people that there's something here. So it might be too early for you, but let me plant the seed there. In order for us to change this country, two things must happen. Ruto must go is the first one. The second thing is the manifesto that you're going to see us now delivering.
The news team wants to know what your thoughts on IEBC are and the elections of 2027.
I think when we had the meeting with United Opposition with IEBC, the one thing that I have to appreciate is that at least they opened that door to meet, because they had been very reluctant prior to that. And we told them that the manner with which the commissioners were selected was very, you can almost say, unconstitutional. It was not the proper way.
Okay.
And so there was a feeling that these commissioners are not commissioners that were selected in the proper way. So this was a Ruto commission. And we actually said to them that, you know, we know you are a Ruto commission, but because we are leaders of sound mind, you are now commissioners. It is now your work to prove, not even to us, but to the people of Kenya, that indeed you're an independent commission. The two things we talked about is that whatever happened in Malava and Beere, all the let me say, all the processes that were flawed, the violence that was met on the opposition side, and the polling stations and tallying centers that were captured by members of the executive, cabinet secretaries. We have never seen a report on the same. Nothing was done, even when there were videos of a cabinet secretary literally taking over a polling station that then delivered the margin of the win. We never were told, or even they did not say, you know what, because of this malfunction here, we will call for re-election or something. We have not seen any action from them. That leaves many Kenyans with a lot of doubt. In fact, most people I talk to are saying, we know that Ruto has gone home, but how will you make sure he doesn't steal the election? So one of the things that I'm working on with the United Opposition is to ensure, and I'm in that team, that as per the constitution, then the counting of the votes at the polling station, not the tallying center, the polling station, that classroom becomes the final count. We are not going to wait for a paper to be transferred all the way to Bomas. We are not going to wait, because we are in the digital era. You will be counting. We can be transmitting live in very many different platforms. And it will be clear that in this St. George's Primary School, Ruto scored 2 votes, and the flag bearer of the United Opposition scored, if it's 6,000 votes. And we don't need you to bring it to Bomas. We already count Ruto's votes there, the 2 of them, and the United Opposition, whether it's 6,000 or 10,000. And by 5 p.m., if we stick to the constitution, which is the final count at the polling station is the final count, we would have already sent Ruto home. Because we don't need to come to Bomas and start fighting with Akina Ledama, you know. We just count it and that's what the constitution dictates. So we want to see the independence of IEBC and them following the law and not orders from above.
Senator, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Na pole sana tumekukalisha zaidi ya ile wakati ulikuwa umeplan, lakini hata hivyo tunakwambia rudi tena. Si umeona sisi tuko very accommodating.
Asante for having me.
Yes.
Safari ya kwenda Singapore is a fallacy. Tukae Kenya tujenge nchi yetu.
So United Opposition inatukalisha tu papa hapa.
United Opposition it wants to just solve your very basic problems. Education, healthcare, and literally the economics around your family. Yeah, you can be overambitious, but for now, you know, you can't start saying me, I'm going to the US now, umeshindwa kulipa rent.
Let's be realistic.
Let's be realistic.
Sawa sawa.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is where we come to a close.